So I can get in there with a pen and I can start to draw and make up new buildings. Now you can do this with figures. All of these things that I've been doing the last couple of hours, we can do these with figure painting. We can do it with still lifes. We can do it with landscapes. You know, anything that you want, animals, anything you can do, and just begin to draw in there. Now, so this is a nice fine line that draws beautifully. See, on top of that gessoed surface, that's terrific. That gessoed surface is just marvelous to work on. And that whole, I can draw with those real thin lines, and then all these tools that we've been using, I can begin to put some ink in there and get some fatter lines down here in the bottom so that some of these lines get nice and heavy. Oh, I love that. Look at the organic, how organic that line gets. It's just fat and thin and right next to that other line, it makes beautiful combinations of things happening there. We need some shapes up in here that are a little bit darker. So we can just get in there and just fill that space up with those wonderful kinds of lines on top of all on top of all those neat shapes that are underneath there. And then I can always add more color to that. I can get my brush and I can add some more. Say I want to make a little bit darker behind the church up there on top of the hill. I can put another shape in here, and really everything that's underneath, all the papers that are underneath, are showing a little bit on here. See, they just make the texture very rich. And I can blot a little bit on that. See that with that gesso under there, I can lift things off of that. So I can all the most wonderful things begin to happen with that surface. See, and I can wipe a little bit and blot and change color and shapes and things like that. And you look at this one, which is a completely different subject, but you see how all these lines, this has got gesso over paper, over drawing, and so we've got layers and layers of things happening, and all those things begin to show through these wonderful surfaces. So you see how intricate this can get up here with all these very fine little lines in here, and I have colored lines and everything going in there, and I like to write a little calligraphy down in there that tells a little thing about the place there. But I just think that surface gets to be so rich. And here's Monet's garden. See, I did this from a sketch that I did in France one time, and these are all the flowers, see, in Monet's garden down here. And all these lines over the top of all that, the lines really pull it all together. The story is in the line, but the shapes make those lines speak and speak their language.